Well, hello there. A couple things have happened recently in my life that made me feel like I really wanted to make a video that speaks exclusively or nearly exclusively to those who are now battling cancer. I think one of the events that kind of motivated this video was the fact that a few weeks ago I had a test. You see, as a cancer survivor for non Hodgkin's lymphoma, every 6 months I get a scan, a CT scan, to see if any tumors have invaded my body, so to speak, reformed. And every time I do that, I go to a different place that I got treatment. But every time I go, I walk by and I see the treatment room. I see the chairs that were very similar to those in which I received my chemotherapy. And I know I go early in the morning, but I know later that day those chairs are going to be filled up with people that are getting treatment. And it always makes me think how glad I am that I'm not in treatment. But I'm always mindful of the fact that I know that there's a lot of people that aren't as lucky as I am. Either they don't become survivors or they're still in treatment. So, what I wanted to do in this video is just kind of speak to those people going through treatment now. And when I do so, I don't claim I have the ultimate wisdom on the subject. I understand that everybody's cancer is different, their treatments are going to be different, the amount of chemotherapy, whether there's radiation or not, it's all going to be different. And you're going to be in a different physical state of affairs than I was when I entered into chemotherapy. But these are just some general thoughts, some thoughts that might help you, hopefully will help you through the process. One of the things that helped me through the process when I first learned that I had cancer and that it would take 6 treatments of chemotherapy, 6 rounds of chemotherapy to cure me, if you will, to send my cancer in remission, and that was going to take about 5 months. I really started researching chemotherapy and what it does to the body. And anyone who's done that knows that chemotherapy can have a lot of damaging effects to the body. So I started contemplating, my goodness, is this worth it? Are there alternatives? Probably like a lot of cancer patients might do. But as part of that process, what came out of that process was a real examination of my life. Because I decided that if I was going to fight for my life, I really had to have a vision of what I was fighting for. Was I going to fight so I could continue working as a lawyer, a job that I wasn't really that passionate about anymore? Was I going to fight for my life so I could see who won the next World Series? I'm a baseball fan. Was that reason to live? No. That's reasons not to die. Most of us think about that in terms of not wanting to die. But as time went on, I created a real vision of the life I wanted. And as I was going through chemotherapy as well, the life I wanted when I became a survivor. Sorry about that. When I became a survivor, I had that vision. And that vision helped center me and helped me to endure the ills of chemotherapy, feeling sick, gaining weight. I gained a lot of weight because of the steroids and things that I was on. So having that vision for my future as a survivor really helped motivate me, focus. I wanted to get through the chemotherapy and kick cancer's butt because I had this vision of the life that I wanted to lead. The other thing that I think is important is realizing when you have that chemotherapy and you know there's going to be these effects in your life, is to realize that you can overcome even those effects. Now, again, like I said earlier, there's going to be different physical limitations that people have. But I was 49 years old when I was diagnosed, and I had lost a lot of weight, kept it off for about a year, but I gained about 45 pounds during chemotherapy. And my joints were bad after chemotherapy, and didn't have the energy, and I had chemo brain. I still probably do. And I had to beat cancer even further and to keep consistent with that vision. I focused on restoring my body, to look at alternatives to how to restore my body, natural medicine, exercise, all those things. And each person is going to have something that works right for them. But I looked and I researched and I did those things, and I took charge of my body. I decided that I did not want the ills of cancer, that indirectly through chemotherapy, to be what controlled my body. So I ran, I worked out, I started doing CrossFit, and I ran a half marathon about a year to the day of my last chemotherapy. It was within a couple days. And you may say, well, Kirk, I can't do that for this reason. Like I said, yeah, I get that. But there's a lot of you out there that can. That the physical limitations that you impose upon yourself as a survivor aren't as constricting as you think they are. So if you're going through chemotherapy right now, you're going through treatment for cancer, understand that if you have a vision for your life and work to reclaim your life, you can start living every bit as active life as you lived before you started, but maybe in a much happier way. So keep going, keep fighting. You're not alone in this battle. You are loved by many. You are supported by many, and you can win.